Breaking news from South Africa's anti-corruption landscape. Arlucheng. Advocate Andrea Johnson, the head of the Investigating Directorate Against Corruption, or IDAC for short, has resigned from her position and is asking to be released from office immediately. Johnson has requested that her contractual 3-month notice period be waived. But what led to her resignation? And what does this mean for one of South Africa's key anti-corruption institutions? Here's what we know. Advocate Andrea Johnson has officially resigned as the head of IDAC, saying sustained attacks against her and the controversy surrounding her leadership have created a serious reputational risk for both IDAC and the NPA. In a resignation letter addressed to the National Director of Public Prosecutions, Advocate Andy Mutibi, and President Cyril Ramaphosa, Johnson asked for her resignation to take effect within 24 hours. She described the decision as difficult, saying she had a deep commitment to her role and to the work of IDAC. Johnson says the past 5 months have been particularly difficult. According to her letter, attacks against her, both personally and in her official capacity, has reached an unprecedented level. Much of the controversy has centered around IDAC's investigations involving senior officials within the South African Police Service's Crime Intelligence Division. Johnson argued that the intense public attention surrounding these matters was no longer affecting only her personally. She said it was also placing IDAC and the NPA at reputational risk. And in her words, she could not be the reason for the level of negative attention. Importantly, Johnson acknowledged that allegations made against her had not been proven. However, she warned that any formal inquiry into her fitness to hold office could become costly and time-consuming. She also raised concerns about the broader impact on the South Africa's fight against corruption. Johnson pointed to the country's continued scrutiny under the Financial Action Task Force, commonly known as FATF, and emphasized the important role IDAC plays in combating corruption. She argued that South Africa could not afford another lengthy commission or process that could further divert attention from the country's anti-corruption efforts. Johnson also revealed that she had already applied for retirement after reaching the ages of 55. However, she expressed concerns that the retirement process itself could potentially become the subject of legal challenges involving the presidency and the National Director of Public Prosecutions. Instead, she proposed that her resignations be accepted immediately. Her request to leave office within 24 hours by agreement. Johnson said she believed putting the NPA and IDAC first was the best way to serve both the institutions in the country. Her resignation comes after weeks of mounting pressure surrounding her testimony before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. Johnson's faced sustained questioning over IDAC's investigations into senior crime intelligence official, as well as allegations concerning her own conduct. During her testimony, Johnson made several concessions under cross-examination. Among them, she withdrew her earlier description of Brigadier Dino Mokwele's appointment as a token appointment. Johnson apologized and acknowledged that she had not reviewed Mokwele's qualifications before making those claims. She also conceded that IDAC had no legal basis to investigate Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo in one particular matter. In another significant concession, Johnson acknowledged that IDAC could not have solicited complaints from members of the public as a way of initiating an investigation. The controversy escalated further when the Office of IDAC Oversight Judge confirmed that it had received complaints against Johnson's. However, the office made an important clarification. The existence of complaints does not mean that wrongdoing has been established. The complaints will instead form part of the office's investigative processes. Pressure increased again after Public Interest SA and Brigadier Mokwele lodged formal complaints with the Legal Practice Council and the IDAC Ombud respectively. They argued that aspects of Johnson's testimony before the commission warranted further investigations. Earlier this month, President Cyril Ramaphosa said he was closely monitoring developments at IDAC as speculations grew about Johnson's future. Legal experts have also warned that the controversy could potentially undermine public confidence in one of South Africa's important anti-corruption institutions. So, what now? At the point of publication, neither the presidency nor the NPA has announced whether Johnson's request to be released from office immediately have been accepted. That means her resignation request, and specifically her request to waive the 3 months notice periods, remains subject to a decision. After approximately 30 years of services, Advocate Andrea Johnson says she remains grateful for the opportunity to lead IDAC, but her resignation now places another important question in the spotlight. How does South Africa strengthen its fight against corruption while maintaining public confidence in the institutions responsible for investigating it? For now, all eyes are on the presidency and the NPA for their response to Johnson's request. From Anna, that's it for now. Until we meet again, it's a bye for now.